So in the last segment, we saw how a student could take quick notes using Smallest Federated Wiki. And in this segment, I want to show how a student could take those notes and then expand those notes in a way that's going to deepen their understanding of the subject. So we see here the student who is actually me in this demo, but we see me going out here and I'm grabbing some stuff about B.F. Skinner. He's referencing the notes. I might as well go and get some information on him. And that's basic level stuff, you know. It's important, but that's very basic level. Now, what's more interesting is here you can go and you can start to find important concepts that were in the lecture and make those concepts, associate those concepts with a page. And so we're dragging stuff around, we're dropping stuff, we're refactoring some of the prose here. And we're trying to build out a page which is going to serve as a hub of facts, quotations, references that both support and maybe reject this idea that behaviorism was anti-mentalist. Although given that behaviorism was probably mostly support. But you see how this comes together fairly fast. And what you're doing here is you're doing two things. One is you're filling out the notes so that you have more information to study. But the process by which you're doing that is exactly the sort of process of making connections, finding examples, deepening your understanding through networking the new information into other information that you gather, that we associate with expert learning. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and just let you watch. One thing that you're starting to see here is how both the column structure and the draggable paragraphs, how they, I think, really help the user to develop a fluid process where you're building out many parts of the site at once. You know, gaining a facility with this tool is, it's not as easy as something like Twitter or something like that. I can say though, having gained a facility with it, using it feels more like an extension of the process of thinking than maybe any writing tool that I've used. It feels like an extension of your own mind in this bizarre way. Although certainly it takes a while to get the fluidity with the tool that's your experience. And one of the things you're going to notice here is that how quickly we've moved from, so we're at, 4 minutes here, 4 something, and we're sped up maybe 3 times. So, really this would have been 12 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. And yet we've moved, in that time, we've moved from a bunch of sort of random prompts to something that's starting to look like a narrative about behaviorism, a coherent narrative about behaviorism. And we're looking at the way that this is being built out. It is expanding on notes, but the process is actually in some ways individual to the student. So I could certainly see different students picking up on different things, and then students looking at each other's notes and hopefully curating from those notes an even better set of notes. Now we seem to be stuck on this page, but obviously that's just me reading through the page. Not everything can be writing. Reading has to happen. But in this case, I found this Twin Oaks, Virginia, which I didn't know about, which attempted to live initially according to the principles of B.F. Skinner's Walden 2. And this is what I mean. If you can imagine a bunch of students who take notes on a certain subject or a certain reading or a certain video they watch, but just through their own individuality, find in those notes one or two places where they find something unique among the class. You start to wonder, can you actually start to move from the expansion of notes to something that is starting to look more like original scholarship, or at least the process of scholarship. And I think it's possible. I think that could be one of the directions that this goes in.